All right, let's go. You've been holding on for so long through all the nightmares associated with being a crypto investor, but it finally feels like things are about to change. Ricola. So as always, we got lots to talk about in this video, from Cher's grandmother getting fired, to Cynthia Erivo's next movie role, from Governor Hot Wheels tracking down congressional criminals, to dudes that have completely lost their minds.
The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre.
Definitely a little ironic when the guy in a dress is talking about things that are weird and bizarre.
You see them sometimes, walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
We can't just allow these Republicans to put a beautiful white young woman with perfectly round titties in their ads, because people will like that shit. We need to keep putting fat, ugly bitches in our ads, Stay woke.
We'll take a look as the Yankees reveal their first ever City Connect jerseys, and they finally found the guy who hit Sophie Cunningham with a green dildo during a WNBA game. 18-year-old Caden Lopez has been charged with assault, disorderly conduct, and being the most accurate shooter at the game. RFK weighs in on Dildo Gate.
It's a circus in a war zone. I never thought I'd have to address this, but these overgrown behemoth women are just trying to airball free throws and blow layups in peace. The WNBA was never meant to be the UFC, okay? The Sisterhood of Traveling Elbows has been gunning for Caitlin Clark for far too long, and now the league is using dildo mortars to finish the job.
Of course, I'm always here to answer all the tough questions, like if Russiagate was a picture, what would it look like? Will Howard Stern be any good in his new role as J.B. Pritzker's campaign manager? What was Donald Trump actually saying as he stood on top of the White House?
Michelle Obama's penis is actually huge. Bigger than anyone could imagine.
Is it a coincidence that these two have never been seen in the same room at the same time? Do we have definitive proof that Harry Sisson bought WNBA season tickets? How accurate are pregnancy tests? Should people still wearing masks also be wearing an outdoor seatbelt? And maybe most importantly of all, does your God have a big fat dick? They say that weak men create hard times, but we're also finding out sometimes they commit mortgage fraud instead. All right, let's talk some XRP, and we start with the sexiest Schwartz in all of crypto.
I think what's going to happen is there's going to be use cases where digital assets like XRP and Bitcoin make sense, where volatility is either an advantage or not a disadvantage. And there'll be other cases where a sort of more stable token like RLUSD or some other stablecoin will make more sense, where either the volatility is a disadvantage or where the recipient doesn't want to deal with the complexity of having a volatile asset. So I think you're going to see enterprise use cases in everything from trade finance to tokenized real world assets. Essentially, almost everything is a payment. Like a loan is a payment, right? If you borrow money from me, I pay it to you and you pay me back. Tokenized securities. If you're buying Apple stock, you're spending money to buy that Apple stock. And when you sell it, there's always a payment on the other side. And so I think one use case for stablecoins would be as a payment asset where the recipient doesn't want to deal with the volatility and where the recipient just wants to sort of have a fixed amount of payment. It's especially going to be interesting for applications where the endpoint recipient of the funds is not somebody who's sort of interested in participating in the digital asset space, like you're buying groceries.
And big news right here, Ripple to acquire stablecoin platform Rail for $200 million. From Brad, Ripple plus Rail together will be the go-to provider of stablecoin payment infrastructure for global financial institutions around the world. And this can make things even more interesting.
I do believe BlackRock will file for both spot XRP and Solana ETFs, though we're getting a little bit late here in the sense of, I think, again, we're getting closer to the finish line and they still haven't filed. Now, maybe they're waiting for that formal framework that we talked about to be put into place, and they're going to swoop in at the last minute.
But the biggest news of all is this. President Trump to sign executive order allowing cryptocurrencies in 401k retirement plans.
Trump last night came out and talked about crypto assets being eligible for 401ks. I mean, that's a monster pool of capital. And what we're just seeing is through these treasury companies, through all kinds of different avenues, the aperture of being able to buy crypto being widened and widened and widened, more avenues bringing people into the tent. I think one of the things that I actually didn't even comprehend is these treasury companies have done so well. The public equity markets are so much bigger than what the crypto markets were. And so as we're really broadening our reach through public equities into our asset class, you're just seeing tons of money pour in.
And this is something you really need to be paying attention to. President Trump is preparing to open the $9 trillion U.S. retirement market to Bitcoin and crypto investments. But here's the thing. You don't have to wait for that policy shift. I'm already doing it with iTrust Capital, and not just because I'm partnered with them, I actually use their platform to grow my crypto in a tax-advantaged IRA. With iTrust Capital's crypto IRA, you can buy and sell over 80 digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP inside a retirement account where trades grow tax-deferred or even tax-free. No capital gains headaches every time I take profit, which is huge for your long-term strategy. They're partnered with Coinbase Custody, Fidelity Digital Assets, so the security is institutional grade, the platform is simple to use, available 24/7, and there are no monthly account fees, just a flat 1% transaction fee. I'm building my retirement with crypto right now, and iTrust is the tool I trust to do it. If you're thinking about stacking Bitcoin or other assets for the long haul, this is the way. Links below to check out iTrust Capital. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top headlines, and this is some really big news. President Trump confirms he'll be signing an executive order to punish banks for debanking conservatives.
You know, banks are not afraid of anything but a regulator. They're regulators and their wives. They're more afraid of their wives than the regulators. But the group they're really afraid of is bank regulators.
Here's some facts you may not have considered.
One thing I want to say, a lot of people are going to hear my testimony and you're going to say you're anti-LGBTQ. I want to say that's impossible because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So obviously I have a lot of gay pride. But, you know, a lot of conservatives like yourself, you want to outlaw transgenders in women's sports. I disagree. I like transgenders in women's sports because you can gamble on them and win money. You know, I won so much money on Leah Thomas's propeller in that pool. I almost turned DraftKings into Draft Queens. And, you know, I actually like transgenders in the military, too, because, first of all, transgenders are some of the meanest people on planet Earth, so they'd make a good soldier, don't you think? And then, you know, second of all, transgenders love to do mass shootings. So, you know, that's perfect for a military veteran.
Scientists say that a massive, mysterious, hot blob is moving towards New York City. And here's the first picture of what that blob actually looks like. Congressman Al Green vows to impeach Trump again.
And I promise you, this president is going to, he's going to be brought down. Yeah. He's going to be brought down. He has to be brought down. And I don't mean physically. I'm talking about politically. We will bring him down. He will be impeached again.
The ex-Doge staffer known as Big Balls was jumped by 10 guys after trying to stop them from carjacking a woman in D.C.
Just so we're clear, whoever put their hands on my big balls made a huge mistake.
He went on to say that at this point, he's unsure whether a medal or a statue is a more appropriate tribute.
Democrats have gerrymandered the vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of that, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking just a small corrective step against this ocean of fraud, this ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party.
Ireland making demands that they should be taken more seriously as a country. Also Ireland, this is our president. And a new report from the New York Post says that 3 of Jasmine Crockett's staffers have turned against her, alleging she's an abusive boss who routinely berates and belittles them, curses them out, refuses to go into the office, choosing instead to lounge around her luxury DC apartment while they complete all her tasks, has them do her laundry, and treats them like an Uber service.
One thing that they should know, when it comes to a black woman and a Latina, that's right, they're about to get a little spice, okay?
I mean, when you have low IQ people like Crockett, I wonder if she's any relationship to the late, great Davy Crockett, who was a great gentleman. I wonder if she's got any relationship to Davy Crockett, the great old Davy Crockett. But you have this woman Crockett. She's a very low IQ person. Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding. The Democrats are lost. They have Trump derangement syndrome so bad that they can't walk.
But thankfully, after Texas redraws their district lines, Payton Jackson will be taking over her congressional seat. Someone who I think will become the first female president of the United States.
My name is Ms. Jackson. I don't need you to walk me into any position, and no, I don't want a seat at your table unless I'm welcomed. And I mean truly welcomed by merit, not mandate. Seek my employment, seek my partnership because you see my value. You understand my potential. I have proven the merit to carry out the task at hand, but do not belittle me down to my skin color. No, because truth be told, I don't have to face racism. Racism has to face me. I don't have to face sexism. Sexism has to face me. I give people millions of reasons to hate me. If you choose my skin color, you just aren't trying hard enough. I give people millions of reasons to love and seek partnership with me. If you choose my skin color, of all things, well, quite literally, you are too stupid for me to tolerate. This is not 1865, nor is it 1965. Let the victim mentality go.
We actually almost had a fourth dildo thrown onto the court during a WNBA game. Luckily, it missed and just hit a child instead.
What is it, son? I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant dick.
And here's a message to all the race hustlers who still spend the majority of their time dwelling on white privilege.
Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills.
So you know I'll be watching, and I'll keep you updated with any new information. I would say, if you forget everything else, always remember this.
MSNBC sucks.
You don't have to follow every warning, but failure to follow some could be dangerous. People often wonder how the word boob actually came into existence, but it actually has a very specific and precise meaning. Prince was a great artist, but Prince without music is next level. Despite what people may think, just know that
I don't want to set the world on fire.
And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video on the XRP infinite money glitch, and of course, some more cheap jokes that are guaranteed to make people laugh and or cry. Until the next time, be safe.